Hey, welcome back to the workshop. In today's project, we're going to be experimenting with making another homemade leather treatment. I think it's going to be interesting. Come take a look. This time around, we're going to be preparing our mixture in a clean, new Walmart grease pitcher. We're going to be making our leather treatment out of about 2 ounces of Neatsfoot Oil, 2 ounces of pine tar, a good healthy squirt of this HPA Lanolin goop, and we're going to add as much beeswax as needed to achieve the consistency that I'm looking for. Alright, pretty sure this is going to be a mess. Pine tar is kind of nasty stuff. We better do this outside. Not sure how much lanolin to put in here. That's probably good. So there's a bit of guesswork involved in a project like this. I don't know how much beeswax to put in, but what I would like to see in the end is I'd like to have a product that has the consistency about like Johnson's paste wax. I'd like it to be a fairly firm wax at room temperature and then soften up when you work with it. The other thing with this is because I've put so much pine tar in it, it's going to come out really dark, and it's going to darken whatever leather product we put it on. Now that doesn't bother me. That's kind of something that I was looking for. But if you didn't want that darkening, then I would leave the pine tar out. The other reason to add pine tar to this is that I believe pine tar keeps the mixture more flexible in extremely cold temperatures. And here where I live, it gets pretty cold in the wintertime. So I'm hoping that the addition of this much pine tar to this is going to give it good performance in the winter snow. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes, and for the most part our beeswax is now completely dissolved. It's important to heat this up slowly and melt the wax without boiling the mixture. But now, how do we know if it's any good? How do we check it? Well, this is what we're going to do. Take a clean piece of wood, just a piece of scrap here, and dip it in the mixture like you're dipping a candle. And give it 1, 2, 3 dips is probably good. We're going to take this out, we're going to let it air cool and dry for a minute, and we're going to see what the consistency of our mixture is like. Okay, here's what we've got so far. And honestly, it's not half bad. This has been allowed to cool and dry for 2 or 3 minutes, and it cools pretty quickly because it's a real thin layer. But right now, you know, it's pretty firm. You know, this thick part of the wax here holds its shape when you push on it, which is about what we were looking for. But as you work on it, as it heats up under hand pressure, you can feel that it becomes almost like shoe polish, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So I think that for the moment, we're going to call this done. Let's go ahead and pour it out into our final can and call it good. Now what I'm using for this is an old catfish or maybe tuna fish can. It doesn't matter what you put it in. I just want a metal container so that I can reheat the mixture later if I need to change its composition. And I want something with a nice wide opening at the top so I can get in here and scoop my mixture out as if I were using shoe polish or something along those lines. Or, you know, you could also just leave it in this pitcher and make this pitcher permanently shoe goop, but I may want to use this for something else someday. There we go. We're going to let that cool and set up. Probably going to take several hours for that to reach its final consistency, and then we'll see how we did. Man, it's a hot day in the shop. I'm all filthy from other projects, but that's a video for another time. Anyway, this is done, and I think we've pretty well nailed it. It's had about an hour and a half to set up, and it's pretty firm. But you can see here, when you push your finger into it, it softens right up, which is exactly what we were looking for. See, this is a pretty solid puck right now. But as you move it with your finger and it heats up just under your body heat, you can see that it softens right up. And I think that's going to make a great winter wax for my boots, for my night sheaths, for whatever I need to put it on. So that's homemade experimental leather treatment. This one is lanolin, Neatsfoot Oil, Beeswax, and pine tar. Is it as good as a product like Huberd's Boot Goop or Obenauf's Leather Protector? Probably not. Is it as cheap as something like Huberd's Boot Goop or Obenauf's Leather Protector? Probably not. But we had fun making it, and I hope we learned something along the way. So that's about all we got for today. We'll see you in the next project. Till then, have a good one.